everybody's doing well and survived our polar vortex freeze of the last couple weeks. I know it's been rough on a lot of people and miserable, but thank goodness we're on the back end of that deal. So the first order of business will be the committee meeting minutes from January 27th. Hopefully everybody had a chance to review those. I sent those out late for middle of last week when we sent the invites out with the agenda and everything. So does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns, changes that we need to make?
I'll make a motion to accept them.
Okay, motion made by Jeff.
I'll second.
Seconded by Cindy. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Motion approved. Sorry, there was somebody, one of the other members was trying to get in. So the motion approved to approve the meeting minutes from January. Kimberly, are you on? Yes.
Yes, I am.
So we have the monthly financial report.
Yes. Let me switch screens. I have it up. For the month of January, the OAP1 plan had a net loss of...
Sorry, I lost my connection and had to go through a bunch of rigmarole to get back in, so.
You're all right. Welcome back.
Fun times.
So the OAP1 plan had a net loss for the month of January of $128,333, and the OAP2 plan had a net loss of $84,119 for the month of January. Through January, the fund is experiencing a loss for the fiscal year of $1,122,660, and the ending fund balance, or your unrestricted net assets, are $1,715,863. The one thing I'd like to point out on the statement at the bottom, CBIZ did calculate the IBNR, so we updated that from the amount from September to the amount they calculated for October, and that is reflected where the third line up from the bottom, it says increase or decrease in IBNR for the current quarter. So it's a negative 326,520. That's from the beginning of July. So the change from when it was at the beginning of the fiscal year until December, that's reflected there. That is just a book entry we have to book for CAFR reporting purposes. So we're showing that at the bottom of the statement. The number so that's decreased since what it was in July. So that's why it's $326,000 negative. Are there any questions?
Does anybody have any questions over the financial statement? I think somebody's getting in their car to leave.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Okay, we have a motion from Jeff to accept the financial report. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Cindy. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. Do we have any nays? Sorry. Lisa or Julie, do we have a Cigna update?
Hi, good morning. Nothing on my end, business as usual.
Okay, is it time for the Cigna update? I wasn't hearing you guys, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
I apologize. Love the technology. I've got a few things. So just like my usual deal on COVID, the reporting actually we're doing, so this isn't a do-over for January. This is a year-to-date well, pandemic to date, I guess you could say. So what we're seeing for this month is we had 953 people tested. That compares to 834 last month. We had 130 diagnosed, 97 last month, about 3.5% of the population. And then the combined spend is about 150,000. So that's up about 25,000. So that's kind of the COVID update. And then just from a vaccine perspective, we're seeing more and more that, there's momentum is here finally. And so just a reminder that vaccines, the actual vaccine itself is paid for by the government. So the plan is just paying for the administrative piece, which is $20 to $30, something like that. So it's not an expensive charge. And then I wanted to just comment. Let me pause and see if there are any questions. We could talk for quite a while about vaccines, but I know that may not be of interest right now for everybody on the phone. Any questions on COVID stuff for me?
So is that charge when they go to, like, Clay County has a big vaccine, is that charged to the insurance at that point, or is that covered by the state?
So my understanding is that that administration fee actually goes to the plan. So the state is who is just distributing it. So, that's the process at this point. We are starting to hear more about and talking to vendors about having the ability finally to have some additional administration of vaccines. So I think there'll be more to come on that soon. But depending on where you live and so on, there's a variety of, statistics on how many people have been vaccinated compared to what's been delivered and things like that. So. Okay. So Hy-Vee clinics, I wanted to just make a comment on the clinics. Just as a reminder, the agreement that is in place is between Cigna and the city, not between the city and Hy-Vee. So when people go to those specific Hy-Vee clinics, they're not necessarily going to be aware of the process. So that's how we decided to set it up, from the perspective of, the city is actually has an agreement with Cigna. So we have a specific tiered benefit put in place for you guys. So I wanted to just mention that. And then also we're seeing a lot of, over the course of the last year, lots more adoption of virtual, whether it's behavioral or, an urgent visit or dental even. And so we are actually seeing wellness visits being done virtually. And so we have MD Live, which is an option for you guys. And, many providers are already doing that themselves. So just kind of keep in mind, there's tons of flexibility out there now where before people didn't have all those options. So just wanted to mention that. And then if you do a virtual wellness, they'll order the biometrics and get those done ahead of time, so that, that discussion and that visit is most advantageous for everybody. And then just quickly on wellness, I believe that Selena is still out due to a death in her family. We're working with CBiz and the city and kind of regrouping on some wellness things and, the things that are already in place, enhancing those. So I just wanted to give a quick update on that because I don't think Selena's joining today. So
I am. I'm here.
Oh gosh, hi Selena. I didn't think you were, so I'm so sorry that I spoke for you.
Yeah. I'm just kind of coming back a little bit, but No, that's fine. I didn't really have much to say, and I was just going to basically say that I've been out for a while, but we did get a few things going for the city as far as wellness. They sent out the WellBeats partnership to all the employees a week or two ago. So I know that the employees can start getting and doing the WellBeats program. So that's great. We did do a delivery yesterday for healthy fruits and snack bars to the departments. And then just like Julie was saying, we're still working on partnering moving forward. And I think at the end of this month, I'm going to be working with Cigna to get the Motivate Me points settled and get them out to the employees at the beginning of March sometime. We're hoping to do that. Since we had to push back the date till December 31st, it's taken a little longer to get all those points and everything run through the insurance. So that's why it's a little bit longer than normal. Normally we would give them out in January, but we let it go till the end of December. So I didn't really have much to say, but that's about it.
Okay. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Selena.
I had a question. This is Terry, to Julie on the Hy-Vee clinics. Back to that. Those Hy-Vee clinics that are ran by like St. Luke's or Truman Medical Center, and so they don't know about the agreement with Hy-Vee and Cigna, or with the City of Independence and Cigna. So they're charging the copay, which the part of the incentive was for the employees to be able to go and not pay a copay. And so if they're charged the copay, I guess they have to get a refund then from the clinics, or is there a way to notify the clinics, the people that are running the clinics like St. Luke's and Truman Medical Center, about that agreement so they will know about it?
So Terry, when we put this together, like I said earlier, we actually, kind of thought through the different options, and we ended up deciding on having the agreement be between Cigna and the city, because we didn't want to, potentially, and I'll use my own words, freak out some of these Hy-Vees that, they might end up potentially having some additional volume. We just didn't really know how much volume would be running their way. So that, that was kind of part of the decision-making process. And, Jennifer or any others that are on can chime in on that. But, as we work through this, we can certainly provide more clarity on the process, and, if we need to do some additional communication, or, if there's something that we need to let members know, we can definitely do that. And so I'm working with our provider group. They're actually having some further conversations with some of the Hy-Vees. And you're right, I think we talked about this way back, but we picked certain Hy-Vees because they actually had clinics, first of all. And then secondly, we picked specific clinics based on where people live, as well as who, those provider groups are, because depending on who's running it, there are some different levels of discounts available. So for example, the ones that are in independence, we have the university health providers, which is Truman, and we have St. Luke's with some of the ones out south and Lee Summit area. And then we have Veritas up north. So just, there were a whole bunch of different factors that went into determining how to set up that relationship, how, which provider groups we wanted to use, quality, cost, all that kind of stuff. So, we're still tweaking it and appreciate the feedback. If you guys on the committee have feedback, please send it our way. It's far from perfect, but we're continuing to try to improve it. So more discussions. We're trying to just make this work as best we can for all the employees and the retirees. So I'll have more information as kind of time goes on, but I know we talked about it probably a year ago, so some of the things that went into the decision might not be top of mind anymore. So I wanted to just share that with everybody.
Thank you for the updates, Julie.
Hey, Michael, real fast. Sorry, this is Selena again. I did want to let everybody know that we finally started working on this back in October, sent out those wellness packages to all the employees. So they should be receiving them soon. So that was a long time coming. So that's a big win. So I just wanted to let everybody know we did get those done and sent out. So
I actually got mine the other day, and yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff in there.
oh,
So,
awesome.
A lot
Great.
of good information. Okay, next order of business will be CBiz on their monthly financial report. And I apologize. I didn't realize that these didn't go out to the entire committee until yesterday. So as soon as I realized it, I sent them out. I know Jonathan and Eric emailed them to Cindy and I for review, and I missed seeing that didn't go out to the entire committee. So I will do a better job next month, making sure that as soon as we get those, that I get them out to the committee. This is kind of the first time that we've gone through with CBiz as far as their monthly financial report. So if anybody has anything or wants clarification, please feel free to speak up and ask, and we'll get through this. So Jonathan, I will turn it over to you.
Thanks, Mike. First, I'm going to apologize. I'm a little under the weather right now, so my voice isn't its normal. So I'll try and go through this the best I can. As Mike sent out, this is our financial overview package for the city. It's got claims detailed by plan, by type, by claim type, enrollment information, etc. I think what I'll for ease of communication, because it's a lot of numbers. I think we'll start off by going through just our executive summary here. It really captures everything. And as we're going through, if there are things that you would like to see, this is very customizable. So we can certainly make changes if necessary for what everybody needs to do. So we've got, if everyone can see my screen, we've got current year versus prior year. So we're comparing two measures. One is the current month of this year versus the current month of last year. And then this doesn't do much in January, but we'll also do an ongoing average, either average or total. So we can say, as of through February of this year versus through February of last year. So we know as a whole, compare year to year, point to point, where are we? But right now it's just the month of January. Enrollment was 1145, down slightly from 1169 last year. Total medical claims were 1,035,000 versus 1,150,000 last year, so down slightly. And these are this is gross medical claims, so it represents both OAP plans, COBRA, and retiree with any runout. There's very little runout at this point from the retirees, but they are represented. 802,000 on the OAP 1, 81,000 on OAP 2, and then 151,000 on the covered retirees. Pharmacy, 299 versus 336 from last year. The split is here. It looks like the big savings year over year was on the retirees. There must have been some big claim activity in January of last year on the retiree side. Stop loss reimbursements, $8,700 in stop loss reimbursements. I can say those are from 2020 claims that were just paid now. There aren't any new large claimants for this year. No RX rebates yet. Those should come in, I think, about March. And then, so total net claims was 1,325,000 versus 1,517,000. Fixed costs, so that's admin stop loss for all the plans, was 197 versus 174. For a total net expense of 1,523,000 versus 1,692,000, slightly down about 8% on the PEPM, which is a nice decrease there. And then we always, compare it to funding. Are we putting away the right amount of money for the plan? I think this is going to start to be not a new story to anyone as we go through these, but slightly underfunded so far for this year, about $70,000. As of January of last year, we were underfunded by over $200,000, but the plan's still running over 100% funding to expenses loss ratio. So as of right now, we're paying out more in expenses, claims, and fixed costs than we're taking in terms of budgeting and employee contributions. So typically, not where we want to be, especially towards the beginning of the year when people are still working on deductibles. Granted, there are some claims rolling over from last year, but from an overall perspective, and we'll get into these discussions as time goes on. We need to think about potentially making some changes to either plan design contributions to help account for this underfunding, which again, not a secret to anyone on the call. This is something we've talked about before. So it's a quick overview. I don't want to get too bogged down in all the numbers. You have the entire package, and I know that it just went out yesterday. But are there any questions at this point about what's on the package? What's in the numbers? Okay, I will take that as a good sign that nobody has any questions. I believe my contact information was in, through Michael was in that email, or maybe not. Feel free to reach out to one of us at CBIZ, and we'll be happy to answer any questions. I did also want to go over quickly the IBNR that Kimberly mentioned. So we ran two IBNRs. First, we compared the locked-in IBNR from September to, we ran one as well, and we came in slightly below that. And then we ran one with claims through December. So as of claims through December, we're at 1,722,780 on the IBNR. One thing to note is as we go through this, our locked-in calculated their IBNR as medical and vision together, and then pharmacy separately. Our standard practice is to do medical and pharmacy together, and then vision separately. So in total, it comes to the total we'll get there. It's just how we bucket ours is we move some dollars around, but this is the way our numbers looked for claims through December. And then we'll update this on a quarterly basis, and then report the numbers to everyone. So certainly the most exciting part of the meeting is to hear someone with a cold rattle on about a lot of numbers on a page. But I think as we're, I think we're starting to get our hands around everything and really dive into the plan, the program, the numbers. Certainly at this meeting, when Julie was talking about some of the Cigna stuff, I know we all felt a lot more comfortable and in the know about it than we did at the last meeting. So, we're definitely hitting the ground running and really getting in. And we're starting to formulate some ideas about how we can right the ship, make the dollars look good for this year and for next year, and come up with some ideas that, we'll be reviewing with Jennifer and Brian, and then, the subcommittee as well. Any questions about anything? Mike, is there anything you want me to touch on that I did not?
No, I think it's a lot of information to take in. It's a new perspective of looking at the information. I appreciate everything you guys have done. Once we go through and kind of divulge in the information, I like how you guys have set it up, comparing this year to last year as well. So I think there's a learning curve for everybody for your team, for our team, and for Cigna as well. And I think as we progress through the next couple months and next couple meetings, I think we're really going to get things ironed out and hopefully find some solutions to the problems that are going on with our plan.
Yeah, well, I know, I can definitely say that we feel comfortable with how things are with Cigna. I'll just throw this out for everyone on the call here. Julie has been awesome. She's been really great with providing us whatever we need and giving us lots of education. So, she's got the history. She's sharing anything and everything with us, and we've been just peppering her with requests and questions and random stuff, and she's just been firing right back to us. So I definitely feel the love on the Cigna side.
Well, it's good to hear. I'm glad that everybody's getting along so well.
Yep.
So thanks very much, everybody.
Yes, thank you, John.
So just to clarify, we didn't have, and I'm only asking this because we have had the last several years, we don't have any large claimants right now or any that are on the radar that look like they're going to be hitting us.
Not as of yet. We don't have anyone that's at least on the 50% side. Natasha, I'm gonna put you on the spot for this one since you were digging into all those reports. The reporting you got from Cigna, was there anyone on, obviously no stop loss claims yet, but anyone creeping up towards 50% or over 50% of stop loss?
Nope, it didn't look like it, not yet.
Great. Thank you. Good question.
John, one thing I'll kind of play off what Cindy was asking about. One thing that we kind of did too with Locked In, and maybe it'll be helpful for the committee, is if we could add a chart to our monthly reporting showing any of our large claims that are potentially coming up. Typically what we kind of asked to see was when those claims start hitting about $150,000, we can kind of keep an eye on them and kind of what their spend is up until we get to the stop loss point. And then we kind of go over that point. Kind of gives the committee a little bit better perception of what's actually going on. And that way we can just kind of keep an eye on it.
So there, page 4 of the PDF is a large claimant report. We'll make sure that level's set about $150,000 so that once people hit 150, they start appearing on this report.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Does anybody else have any comments or questions for anybody on the CBiz team? No. We have a motion to approve the monthly financial report from CBiz.
I'll make a motion.
There's Mike Labor. How are you, buddy?
Tired.
Yeah. Mike Labor makes the motion to approve the financial report from CBiz. Do we have a second?
Second.
Jeff Hayes will second the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion approved. Next up would be either Jennifer or Terry with an update from HR.
I don't really have anything. Still working on the 1095Cs. Now there's had numerous issues with getting those out, so still working on that, but they should be coming out soon. Did you have anything, Jennifer?
Nope, nothing from my end. Business as usual.
Well, we heard from Selena already on wellness, so I think we're good there unless you have something else you need to add, Selena.
Nope, that's it.
I was looking, why are they one?
I don't think we had any old business unless anybody's got anything to bring up from the past. Does anybody have any new business? None? Okay. Just a reminder, I'll bring it up in the new business section, is that we still have a secretary spot open on the committee. If that's something that anybody's interested in, definitely reach out to myself or Cindy, and we'll bring it up at next month's meeting. So it's something that would help Cindy and I out tremendously as far as taking some of the load off of us, so that we can focus on some other things as far as our subcommittee and meeting with CBiz and trying to move forward. But I understand there's a lot of new faces on the committee. So Other than that, I don't think there's any other business. Our next meeting is going to be Wednesday, March 24th. As far as I know and have been told, it'll still remain as a virtual meeting. I haven't heard any changes. So if anybody doesn't have anything else, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
The motion, seconded by Mike Labor. All in favor, say aye.
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 Sounds good. Thank you, everybody, for your time. I hope you have a wonderful week and get out and enjoy the warmer weather.